Hey, it's Amanda Miller. Today I'm going to show you one of my best kept secrets on how to get awesome brows, and that is tinting them at home. That's right, it's a DIY brow tint, and all you need are a few items from good old Amazon, and you'll be walking around with brows on fleek. Do they still say that? I don't even know. You're going to need a few items. I have everything linked, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for you. You're going to get this kit here. I have it linked. Inside this brow kit, you will get developer, these little capsules of pigment that you'll put on your brows for the tint, a little mixing container, and a small angled brush. You will need cotton rounds. You will need some small scissors to trim your brows, Q-tips, tweezers, a tinkle razor, and a bowl of nice soapy water. The first thing you want to start out with is very clean brows. That's step one.
Okay, so you'll want to create the eyebrow tint. So you'll take the little capsule and open it up, pour it into the little cup that it comes with. Just discard that, throw it away, and then you will apply your developer. I like to do an even amount of developer as the powder pigment, and then I just mix the products together and create a paste.
Okay, so I have the paste made. Now I'm just going to brush through my brows really quick. Just make sure all the hairs are laying evenly. And just really quick, I want to tell you that I went with the color light brown. They do have different colors available. For blondes, the blonde I feel is more like a reddish base. So I went with light brown, and I'm just going to only leave it on there for just a couple minutes. Now to apply the tint, I am just going to take the brush that it comes with, pick up a little bit of tint on my brush, and then I do one brow at a time. So I'm going to start from the inner corner of my eyebrow and then work my way out just by applying a small amount of tint, and then I just kind of work up the consistency from there. Okay, now I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and clean up any edges that I think could be just a little bit sharper. What's really nice about tinting your brows is if you have sparse areas, I have a hole like right in this area, hair just doesn't grow there. So what happens with the tint is that it actually dyes the skin under it as well as the brow hairs. So it gives the illusion of your brows being thicker and just a little bit more defined. So if you have scars or holes or thinning on certain areas of your brows, you're going to love tinting them because it's going to just add a little bit of definition and depth without having to apply a ton of makeup on top of it every single day. It'll kind of cut back on your time. So I like how the arch is, but I don't love how thin the tail of my brow is. So I think what I'm gonna do is just add a little bit more pigment to the tail end of my brow. And then I'll just clean it up with the Q-tip to make sure the line is nice and straight and not all jagged looking. So then I'll leave this on for about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to take it off, and then I'll kind of decide if I want to go a little bit darker or what. But I always say start with subtle and then work your way up. I believe on the box it says to leave it on for 10 minutes. If you have really dark skin or really dark hair, then maybe that's okay. But because I'm blonde and I'm pretty fair, 3 minutes tops, then wipe it off, and then kind of see if I want to go a little bit more dramatic or darker, or I want to change a shape. But I work in little sections first, and I say definitely do that until you're really, really comfortable with the product and how it works. Since I'm using a retinol cream currently for anti-aging purposes, plus my skin is on the sensitive side, I cannot really wax or anything like that. I have to be very, very careful. It will rip my skin off. So if you are on Accutane or have any kind of vitamin A or retinol, retinoid, anything of that type, like a chemical exfoliant that you put on your skin or any kind of serum, you're going to be a little bit more sensitive and your skin is going to be thinner. So I would avoid waxing at all costs, or do what I sometimes will go every other month and just get a really nice, like a nice wax where it just cleans all those little baby hairs. But in between, I will groom at home just by using tweezers and a little personal razor type of situation. So the first thing I do is brush all of my brow hairs up, and then I'll go in with little manicuring scissors, and I will just, not tweeze, I will just trim any of the hairs that might be a little too long and a little too wonky. From there, I will take tweezers and just pluck out the ones that are visible. Don't get too close to this area. Leave that alone, because you could easily overpluck and you're going to be mad at yourself. So just get the guys that are really sticking out, that bother you. Don't try to arch or anything like that. Leave that to the professionals. Okay, so from there, I just take the Tinkle razor and I just scrape off the little peach fuzz hairs that are on my lid. Now notice where my blade is pointing. I don't have it going this way because I don't want to shave off my eyelashes and I don't want to shave off any part of my eyebrow. So I go here and I just start working my way down. And then when I get to the center of my brow, I work it that way. And I work it that way. Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly do my other brow. I'm just gonna brush all of the hairs up. Make sure they're all lined up. And then I am going to take my brow tint, start from the inner corner. Grab your Q-tip. Clean up those edges. Okay, and then from there, once I get that tint on my natural shape, then I like to kind of play with the shape a little bit. I'll make the arch a little bit higher just by adding a little bit more tint. I'll make the tail of my brow a little bit thicker. Just kind of give a more overall thicker appearance. And then I'll just let that sit on there for a couple minutes and I will rinse it off once my timer goes off for 3 minutes. Time's up. I am now going to rinse off my brow just using my soapy water that I have right here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna trim Okay, so on this brow, see how red I get? On this brow, I want to fill in this area just a little bit more, and I want to fill in this tail a little bit more. So I am going to add a little bit more product there and a little bit on the tail. But I'm not going to add any more right there. So I'm going to, while that's sitting, I will go ahead and tweeze anything that I see. And then shave just to get all that peach fuzz. This will help your eyeshadow go on smoother also. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for just a minute more and then I'll rinse it off to see how it looks. Okay, so I waited another 3 minutes and then wiped off what was left just on this arch and the tail. I think I'm happy with it. What I'm gonna do now is I am going to let my skin rest and let that redness calm down just a little bit, and then I'll kind of gauge whether or not I want to add one more coat or maybe 2 more coats depending on how dramatic that I want it. But right now I feel like this is okay. But see, sometimes once that redness calms down, then my eyebrows aren't as dark, and then I wish, oh man, I wish I would have went a little bit darker. So depending on your skin or how sensitive you are, how your skin absorbs the tint, everybody is going to be different. So I like to do it just in 3-minute increments. And if you are very, very fair, I would say even start out with like 2-minute increments. And then what happens with this is you just clean this out. So once this is gone, it's gone. So that's why I like to just kind of don't rinse it out. Just maybe cover it up with a towel, paper towel, plastic wrap, something. Do your brows, let the redness calm down, and then see if you want to add more to it before you clean this out, because you don't want to open another capsule and waste all of that product. So I'm gonna wait and then see if this is okay or if I want to add more. Okay, so my brows have calmed down quite a bit. All the redness kind of diminished, and I'm good with this color, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my mess. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions or come across any issues or anything like that, feel free to message me and I will be happy to walk you through it. This is a service that I used to offer to my customers, and I found this kit to be very comparable to the professional kit that I used in my studio. So hopefully you will love these results as much as I do, especially from home, from the comfort of your home. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm always happy to help. And if you want to see any kind of tutorial outside of this, please leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to know what you're thinking or what you're needing so I can make that happen. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.